Very good afternoon, everyone. It's Friday afternoon here, our weekly ritual for uLawPractice webinar. Today's topic is on uLaw analytics and insights. It's not a CPD session, just letting you all know ahead. However, a very helpful and useful session for you all to practice this at your end and implement it for betterment of your practice. I hope everyone is able to hear me well. In case any of you are not able to hear me well, I request you to use the chat window to let us know, and we'll be able to provide you with the phone coordinates. My teammate Amulya is here from support to help you all settle in with the webinar. In case any of you are not able to hear me well or have any questions, feel free to use chat window at any time and we'll have assistance right away. Thank you again for joining in for this webinar. What we're going to see in today's webinar is not the usual numerical details that we would discuss about compliances or standards or, something that's related to accounting, etc. But today is going to be more on a lighter note, but I would say try to take it on a serious note to implement it at your firm so it can make wonders to your practice. And in the same lines, as you all see, every other webinar has an agenda. Today's agenda is about uLaw analytics, how it can bring in a complete view and a very different view to your practice. You will have a 360-degree vision, and at the same time, you will be able to analyze so much unknown to you because these records and reports only provide you data, but what about analysis? What about the analytics that goes behind those data? We're going to discuss all of those today and see how you can analyze the unknown, how you can analyze the accounting data. You don't have to be an accountant for that. You don't have to be a bookkeeper for that. But it's simple English that you'll understand from the analysis that is being made. And over here, you see there's about analytics from different point of view, where there would be analytics for contacts, analytics for matters, analytics for file accounting, etc. So we're going to see all of those to get a better insight into your legal business and get what big law firms pay, which is definitely more than thousands of dollars. You're going to see how this could benefit you without any additional cost, right? So as part of today's webinar, this is what we're going to see. And for those of you who cannot hear me well, I request you to log into phone audio as well, so you'll be able to hear. There'll be a better audio quality. So the presentation is kind of short, but I will then jump into uLaw to show you the navigation into different analytics and what are the benefits out of using such reports and what are the analysis as part of it. And we're also able to see different aspects of analytics into also the mobile app. So I'll be showcasing you all from our browser-related app, as well as the mobile app, and we can go from there. Awesome. So as part of matter analytics, one of the major analytics that you will come across at the beginning of your practice, because there'll be contacts, there'll be matters that you create, then is where the accounting comes into place. Now, when you're in matter analytics, as a sole practitioner or working in a small-sized firm, there is always a need to understand what is your practice's success, what has been the success in the past, and what are the current ratio and rates at which you're growing. And at the same time, It will allow you to understand what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses. Now, you could be doing different area of practices. You could be someone who's practicing in small claims, landlord-tenant board. You could be doing at the same time, traffic tickets. But you really want to know which one of it gives you most of the revenue, most of the business, where you're doing great, which is bringing you major source of income. There are some details that you would want to analyze in order to put yourself in front. And, that is what uLaw Analytics gives you, uLaw Matter Analytics. One of them, not on the whole as analytics, but at least the Matter Analytics tells you the data and knowledge that you belong to this category than the other one that you were thinking so far. You've been doing great, right? So that is a part of Matter Analytics, and also that uLaw's powerful analytics helps you to understand your status of practice, to see what corrective actions that you can take, because it's not always the positives, it's not always the strengths, it's also the negatives, the cons, the weaknesses that goes behind building your firm, right? So you will want to understand your overall Matter Analytics and help. That is brought in by, when I keep saying analytics, what are these analytics? When it comes to Matter Analytics, there are several types of documents that produces analysis on the numbers that is part of your firm. Like, for example, pending invoices, aging analysis, pending trust transfers. This will, of course, show you that you are going to receive so much funds in future, or you are supposed to receive so much funds in future, or in the past, if it's pending for a while. And same way for pending trust transfers. Most of the times we get the money into trust, we raise an invoice, but we miss to move the money from trust to the general. It's of course your own money, but we're in such a speed world today that we're always running constantly, and we want to make sure that we help you to make things simpler and easier and streamlined. So there's always a Matter Analytic button that's available in your Matter, which is the question mark. You can click on it and you will see quite a lot of information over there. And there's also document generation in every specific tab, like contacts, Matter, accounts, quick view, analytics. You have a lot of these documents that you can generate from time to time, which will provide you a better understanding of what is happening exactly in your firm, right? Other than just invoicing and getting the money into the bank account, or other than just spending the money and recording under your expense account. So as part of uLaw Analytics, it's definitely important for you to know the growth, to know the science behind what's happening, and to know your past, to plan your future ahead. So try to use uLaw Analytics. If you haven't been using, there's a separate analytics button for all of you if you're not very keen on using it from different tabs. There's one singular tab available on the left-hand side bottom of your uLaw screen, right below calendar, if I'm not wrong. That analytics will provide you with 6 widgets minimum. You can configure it as per your request, as per your requirement. So that would allow you to see different aspects of analysis that you can perform on your accounting or your client matter management overall. Now, that being said, now what is InSights? Like, there are analytics that's being performed. You're able to analysis over certain things on your accounting front or matter management front. Now, but when it comes to InSights, what does uLaw InSights do? Now, we not only analyze your client and matter in a holistic manner, but we also provide you a new perspective to your matter, to the entire file. You know that there's a bunch of this data existing. There are insights that provides you answers to this data. You might have complex questions, frequently asked questions, saying that, okay, what was my past quarter's revenue? What was in comparison to this quarter? What was the profit that I've made? There's so much that you can ask. And for example, let's say you want to study the fee and expense book, invoice balances, work in progress. There's so much of these that forms part of financial health. It's not always those ledgers, trust me, it's not always those 2 ledgers, the 4 journals, or the 5 other documents that you download from the compliance tab of accounting. Of course, that is what we are all looking for end of the day, because that's what Law Society looks for. But there are things beyond that would help you to grow into a better practice. And one such thing is this analytics tab. And that it's not just analytics tab, but it's overall in the program. There's so much of analytics and insights. And these business intelligence reports provide you with a large picture, with a bigger picture of what is exactly happening, how much you can save, how much is the cost to your company, how much is the profit. And uLaw InSights is available for you at any time. Like, for example, you can subscribe to uLaw InSights email. You could go on to settings and subscribe saying, hey, I want an email from uLaw team telling me what is my, insight from my business or practice this morning, as of this morning. What is the turnover? What is the revenue? What is the expense, etc. So uLaw will then send you out an email every morning at a standard time saying this is the view of your business health today, or your business's financial health today. And it'll also provide you with answers where you can ask FAQs and, more importantly, answers questions that you didn't even know how to ask. So you don't have to think of a question. You can just use the questions available in their FAQs and experience uLaw InSights and the analytics for free. For the ones who are not using uLaw InSights, I highly recommend that. And as part of uLaw Analytics, how many of you have been using, there are at least 10 to 12 reports here. How many of you are using at least 4 out of it over here? I mean, I won't be surprised if you are not using any of them, because none of these form part of compliance reports. At the maximum you would be using is, I'm guessing, profit and loss if you have to send it to your accountant. But there's so much that goes behind building these reports, and we do it for free for you. So take the opportunity and utilize the analytics and insights feature that is available for your review to better your practice, to better the financial status of your practice, to serve your clients better. There could be, like no pro bono. You might want to provide pro bono for certain hours in a month or certain hours in a quarter. You might want to make sure you go in there, you record the pro bono hours, record the report. Without raising the report, you wouldn't have any idea whether you're doing anything or not, right? And so there's so much that goes behind the uLaw Analytics that we build you. Fee book, expense book, category-wise expense, knowing where most of your, a big chunk of your expense goes under, instead of categorizing everything under office expense. Under office expense, you have different categories. You provide rent, you provide bank charges, you provide stationery, you provide office supplies. There would be Law Society fee, there would be uLaw subscription fee. You need to categorize them due diligently so that we are able to provide you analytics saying that, hey, your bigger chunk of expense goes under rent, then a 20% goes under, subscriptions. 30% goes under office expenses such as stationery and office supplies, like that. So now this is nothing but basically categorizing your expense and revenue so such a way that analytics is able to be will be able to provide you with better analytical data that will help you in turn to better your practice. That being said, now you don't even have to go that far, but we, as in search of records or in search of reports, we are bringing it to you in your fingertips literally by sending you email, let's say every Monday or every Tuesday. You can, like I said, you can go to settings and set it up on your own to see what is your invoice balance in uLaw today. How many of your clients owe you balance? What are the total invoiced amount? What is the pending amount? Do you have anything to be trust transferred? There's so much of this that forms part of an InSights, uLaw InSights, and that is being sent to you on your mobile, or rather, on your email, which you can use from your mobile or your desktop PC, wherever you are from at that point in time. And literally, sit back, relax, and take a look at these reports. Now, if you are not using any of this, don't panic. It's better late than never. I will walk you all through how it's being done. For those of you who are not a uLaw user, I highly recommend you to log in, sign up for a trial, and you'll be given a trial account, 30-day free trial. Try to use it, take a demo, see how it works for you. And if you're a current user, you feel your friends can be benefited from this, feel free to refer a friend. We have a refer a friend program too. The benefits of referring a friend is also provided there. Amulya will be sharing you with the respective links on the chat window. Please keep looking for those links and try to copy whatever is relevant to you, or try to copy everything that will be mostly relevant to you. And let us know if you have any questions on the chat window. Like I said, the presentation is small, but I want to show you all mostly over the next 20-25 minutes as to, what are the key importance of your uLaw analytics and how it could change your perspective on your business. Right now, this is my Playground account. We're also going to be seeing how it works on the mobile app. So I'll also be showing you all the mobile app later. As part of the web browser app, you're going to see that you all know there's dashboard and there are other things. I'm not getting too much into details, but my main agenda is to show you what are the different types of analytical documents that would help you all to gain better vision on what's happening in your business. Now, starting off with contacts. Contacts gives you an analytical report, which is also a compliance report. Analytical report is nothing but bringing something to your attention, bringing some information to your attention. There's aging, there's source of contact, there's invoice list over here. So source of contact is also a compliance report. So if you go under compliance, you'll also find source of contact in there. So making sure you are, using all of these is very important. This will provide you, like, for example, if you're in a particular client, you're clicking on document generation, you will know the aging analysis as on today for Sunny Daniel. This will provide you with an optimum idea as to how it's being done. Extremely sorry, my PDF is currently not working. I'd like to stop sharing my screen and get back to all of you. Just bear with me for just one moment. Yeah, that should work now. Let me try once and share the screen back with all of you. Right, so this is the aging report. I hope to share the screen within less than a minute. All right. Okay. So this is where I just downloaded a source of contact and an aging report. Now this aging report gives you clearly that there's no outstanding invoice balance from this client, and you want to thank all of them, rather if it's one client or a joint retainer, whoever, thank them all for paying the invoices and dues on time. While you go further down, there's something called Quick View, and Quick View, now sometimes people use Quick View to look for files, to search for files based on active files or closed files, etc. Now, if you come to the right-hand side corner, there's again a document generation. So you'll mostly find document generation on all tabs on right-hand side corner. And one of them is document generation under Quick View, which will show you many reports, of which my personal favorite are a couple of them. One of it is work in progress. So when you click on work in progress, give a specific date range. Let's say as on this whole month, which is July. I want to see what is the work in progress status, right? Like how many files are there? What are the files that is unbilled and stuff? Now, all the unbilled files will be showing up here, and anything that is not unbilled is still open where the activities are pending. That will also show up in here. So if you go into that respective file, you will be able to raise an invoice and move the money from trust to the general, because especially for Mark Andreas, you have a $500 balance sitting in the trust account, right? Let's say you go back in there. The other report that makes more sense is called invoice pending. So for this month alone, I'm downloading invoice pending. So these are the clients with pending invoices where you will have to complete the dockets and raise an invoice and send it to them. So this is called matters with pending invoice. Previously billed, pending billing, total billable altogether. So as of this month, if you see the one in pink, the column in pink, I have 0 from Melissa, which is the second line to the last line item, but there's one marked in red, which is the first one on the top, Mark Andreas. I had created this file, and the last activity was 20 days ago, which was on 7th of July. And there's a pending billing of $450 plus taxes, which is 508.50. And there's also a $500 balance in trust, which you can clearly transfer from trust to the general upon completing this invoice. So let's see this, guys. We will go into Mark Andreas. I'm just going to click on matters. I can also go from Quick View, but let's say I'm going from here, Mark Andreas. And I would see over here, these are the dockets. Now let's say I'm going to complete the invoice by clicking on invoice, just to save some time, clicking on skip review and download. Now this is the file that I was talking about, or rather it was showing over here saying that Mark Andreas has a pending bill of $450 plus taxes, which is 508.50. To all of you over here, these are the dockets. This is the pending, this is the trust amount, and it says pending trust transfer, plus a small amount due from the client. So let's not worry about the small amount due from the client. Now I want to transfer this money from trust to the general so that you will see how this analytics is helpful to you. Okay, you were able to spot that this client had pending invoice. You came into this file, you were able to complete the invoice, you were able to do the trust transfer, and you are also able to do the electronic fund transfer form 9A, right? So you within less than 2 minutes, you are able to identify that there's a pending invoice that needs to be transferred from trust to the general, also with the balance here. And you raise the invoice is right here, we raised it together. We were able to transfer the funds and also download a form 9A. Okay, now let me take you all back to quick view. Okay, the same document, let's download the same document, which is, I think, invoice pending. We did monthly, which is for, of course, 1st July to 31st July. So for this month, it's going to show me no red over here. Mark Andreas has gone off from the red and is joined with the other parties where billing has been up to date. There's no pending billing. If you're seeing here, look at the pending billing, the pink line with the 3 lines I'm highlighting for all of you. I hope you're able to see it. This is absolutely 0. Now, this is the level of analytics you all should look into, because most of the time we depend on our accountant or bookkeepers for this info. I mean, I'm not blaming it, but I'm saying there's something readily available for all of you over here. Of course, there are some things that we cannot spare time to do, which is, let's say, reconciliations or accounting data, or your year-end financials, etc., which I absolutely understand because of our time crunch. But this one particularly, the analytics, will help you to smoothen out your, business, the transactions, day-to-day transactions, and most important of all, where you stand. So with this one report, I was able to show you all so much. So let me go on showing you what is the next thing available here. So there's something called document generation with analytics under quick view. Now, this is absolutely my favorite. I know it's not part of any compliance documents other than just this Law Society Compliance Analytics for Law Firm Management. You can download this. You can do the analytics report and take a look at it. But my favorite here, for example, is Amuse Me. Before I go to Amuse Me, I'll show you what the Law Society report's saying here. This is a compliance report, which means Law Society auditors will be checking this. So please pay attention to the highlighted details. So let's say you go back, what does it say? You have about 275 clients in the firm who are not categorized. So there's separate category when you're in taking a client. Let's say out of the 443 clients you have, there's more than half of them not marked with source of contact category. So if you keep doing that, then it will start reducing. So you have to then go back client by client and find out who's not categorized, and you will categorize them appropriately. So I just categorized one. So it should technically reduce from 275 to 274 over the next report. So let me download all of you the analytics for compliances for Law Society and show you all that it has actually clearly reduced from 275 to 274. Okay, that is something then I have not categorized properly. Apologize for that. Give me one moment. All right. Okay. Give me 1 second, please. Okay. There's so many here without categories. So as you all see, I would recommend all of you to go over your contact list, especially client list, categorize them. Then you download the analytical report and it should definitely work. So let me see if I am pressing on the wrong button maybe, but the concept is same. Okay, so please make sure that you're able to run this report regularly to check that you have all your clients up to date, categorized, and you're also able to, give me 1 second, all of you. Okay, so it's working. It's good, but let me at least again try the analytics part over here and reconfirm to all of you that it's absolutely working. Right, so coming back to it, okay, for some reason it's not taking in my info. I'll have to check on this, but like I said, the concept is same. You have total clients that needs to be, that's not categorized, and you will have to, make sure to categorize all source of clients and reprint the report, and it should definitely work. All right. So going back into showing all of you the matter analytics, one of the most important matter, and of course, the accounting and other analytics here, calendar. So we do have 4 more tabs. Over here, matter analytics, very simple. First thing I would always recommend to click on the question mark, provides you with the matter analytics, tells you that this is the deposit, this is the withdrawal, this is the balance in trust, or this is what the client owes you, which is showing as payments. So that is also there. Along with it, you also have uLaw InSights, which you can click on it, and it will clearly tell you the FAQs, is the status of the matter, and it will also provide you with how many invoices you've raised, what was the total invoice, has the invoice been paid, what is the balance on this invoice, and was there any aging over here, and nothing, because we just raised the invoice. So these are some important analytics and insights that you can learn from the matter analytics tab, which is a question mark over here. Other than that, again, right-hand side top corner is document generation for all of you. And you have something called timeline over here. Now the timeline with matter, you also have timeline with accounts. You know the matter lifetime over here. So you know when the matter was created, when the retainer was brought in, when was the document drafting done, and when was the invoice raised. So it's from July 8th to July 28th. So there is clearly 20 days of timeline over here for all of you. So please do utilize reports like these, and you also have accounts. You clearly know that what was the payment that came in, how much you have transferred, how much you have invoiced, etc. As you go down, you'll find more information under document generation. Compliances are cool, but yes, beyond compliances, you have timeline under matter, which is very precious. I would ask you all to use that, and also the matter analytics over here. It's just a question mark. Taking a quick pause to see if there are any questions. I'm hoping that all of you have been following this webinar. And if you have any questions, feel free to put it on the chat window at any time. And moving on to the next one, which is accounting. Now, accounting, all of us are so used to simply clicking on compliance, monthly compliance, and downloading all of it, making sure that we are Law Society compliant every month. Now, beyond this is, of course, to keep yourself compliant, but to know more analytics, you will have to go under document generation. There are several reports over here as part of balance sheet, trial balance, revenue, expense, profit and loss, fee book. In fact, fee book is going to provide you with analytics, telling you, let's say for this month, what has been my fee that has been generated, with the analytical report saying, this category has been the, most highest revenue for you. And your expenses has been so much. So you know that as part of your revenue category, your employment category is 2.64, and real estate being the highest here, 14.69. You have so much of such details, and expenses amounting to 48.73%, which is 9,371.05. So you know that from the fee book, the revenue minus expense will be profit. So when you go back, you can find out more analytics over here. Revenue chart over here. Fee book over here. What is your disbursement versus your legal work? And this report can help you infer various ratios and profit margin. When you go back into document generation, you also have aging analysis. So you can very well, download an aging analysis report to know where you stand. So don't miss out on these reports that are below the statements. that helps you to understand what are your, what is the status of your business, financial health, which is very important. It's being done from here. There's also analytics at the bottom. So you can say you want to do matter or accounts, and you want to see revenue or profit and loss. You want to see for monthly, go ahead and see what is. So this one will only provide you with one widget at a time. So you get to see only one of them at a time. You know that, your income was so much, your expense was so much, your highest revenue, second highest revenue. And it keeps going on in comparison to different months. And, your operating profit overall is so and so. Now, just not this, but when you come to analytics at the bottom most, now this is definitely the hero of our. So you get to see revenue here, expense here. You want to see fee book here. You want to do unbilled hours, or you want to do expense chart by category. You want to do maybe fee book chart by category. And there's also probably invoices list in uLaw InSights. So I do monthly. Click on go. So you're going to see how all of these works. What are the analytical reviews that we point out? So you're also able to see the percentage. They could be pie chart, they could be bar diagram, number of invoices paid in this period, 15 invoices, of which your first invoice in this period was 001476, and it was on this matter, on this date. You have that much here, right? Likewise, if you come and look at fee book chart by category, you know that these are the fees that you have received on such on this period, along with the expense book in comparison to that. You also have revenue insights, expense insights. In fact, if you want to go more in deeper, you can click on the expand button and it will provide you with the details. These are the insights that we're talking about. So analytics can also be converted into insights. As we provide you more information, you don't have to worry about it yourself. We are there to assist you with providing you all of the insights on these reports. All right. So as you progress, you would be able to see that. So try to make best use of what is available in free and abundance to all of you. Just one more here before I jump into mobile app to show you all over there as well what are the analytics and also the settings. These are two things that's remaining. Calendar. Now, calendar, yes, we're all using it to synchronize, record dockets, use it for scratchpad, time dockets, etc. But have you all noticed there's something called as an action button over here where you can notice the work in progress? Of course, we also get that from quick view. You can also do a timesheet as employee timesheet for yourself, and you can also work on other things such as compliance tab over here for pro bono and invoice balance reports. So you can download that, or you can also use it for uLaw InSight. Okay, so uLaw is loading the analytics at the background. You're able to see it. It's going to provide you with the invoice balance analytics. Like I said, now there's several tabs that provide you the details. Now, whether it's relevant to you or not is something that you have to probably check and understand and go from there. Mostly they're all, in use for you, but there could always be some things that is not to be, missed. And one such thing is these analytical and insights reports that provides you with all the information. So try and use these, which are also under calendar, under the respective reports. And that way you should be able to understand how it works. While we were waiting for the invoice balance, you can very clearly see that Maria Thompson owes you $565 for more than 3 years now. And the next one talks about your highest invoice balance, which is Mesa Cameron with so much amount. You can then go into details to see all of these one by one. You can also read this more than 26 questions for just one report, which is invoice balance report that we've answered for you as part of InSights. Highest pending transfer. So for more than 100 days, you've missed to transfer 16,480.30, right? And the client owes you, the other one says the client owes you so much amount. You can also work on that. So this is what analytics and insights are supposed to provide you. We need to provide you with the details so you can take the respective action over there. All right. Let's say I close this for a moment and show you all one important thing. Under settings, under permission, we have now permission where you can register for your analytics email. Okay, there's something called subscribe for uLaw analytics email. uLaw analyzes your data and sends you email on InSights. It has launch every day, so please make sure to do that. Now, other than that, the calendar button on this under the settings also has for your daily digest, which is kind of like a calendar insight. You get what are your details for today's meeting that's been sent. But yes, we're talking about permission for uLaw analytics and insights to be sent. Please do enable it. We'll have some useful information that will really amuse you all. But takes me back to, amuse me, something that I missed to show you all, which I wanted to show. Under quick view, under document generation, there's something called Amuse Me, which will collect random reports for corporate analytics and provide you with information. And one such report will show you missing information for clients. There could be, some other information such as what are the pending trust transfers. You have so much your pending trust transfer. There are 21 pages of analytics for you. Shows you how many files you've created in last few days, how many you've closed, archived, what are the ones that are dormant for a long time, what are your summary of expenses, client expenses, and office expenses. And you have so much that you can understand from this report, this one single report that is called Amuse Me under quick view, under document generation. So try and access all these reports that will allow you to understand more about your own business, which you would never know otherwise. All right. Lastly, we're looking at the mobile analytics. Now, you all know uLaw mobile app can be downloaded for both iOS and Android. Now, I have my mobile app here. I think I'll log into, I've already logged in if I'm not wrong. And it's going to show me, probably I've not logged in. So let me show you all. Okay, let me log into the same account that we are all seeing today. So that will show you all how I can see it in parallel. Okay. All right. So once you're logged in, this is where you're going to see a few of your analytics. So yes, I don't want to do any of these now. So you're going to see a couple of reports here. Number one, on the top, you see this. This is where you're going to add contacts and, do so. Now, other than that, you're also going to see there are question marks. Give me one moment. Let me show you all how the question mark works. That will bring out analytics of data for all of you. There are 3 tabs here on the left-hand side. Once you click on it, let's say you're in the matter or you're in the accounts, it'll show you the analytics for that particular file. So you could also use that. And there's all accounts question mark on the top. When you click on the question mark, it gives you the daily category or weekly category you're seeing for a month. Okay, I want to see. Let's say that we are trying to see, choose a category. Let's say we're trying to see expense chart by category. And you say go. And now this is going to show you exactly very similar to what we saw in there, but in a pie or a bar or even a table. So as long as you want to see what is expense chart by category, you go back in here. If you're in analytics, you see expense chart by category. Fee paid by client 9133.75, expenses on client's account over here. When you go back onto the mobile app, same info over here. How's that possible? So you're logged into mobile. You don't have to waste time sitting in front of your system, but you can do all of this while you're on the go, literally, right? You might be sipping on a coffee, sitting in your backyard. You might want to spend some time investigating on your analytics or insights. Feel free to turn on your mobile app and click on the accounts, all accounts question mark, and analytics is provided there. So you have different categories. You don't have to stick to just few. There are different categories. You can keep going up and down as you want to see. Let's say invoice list in uLaw for monthly, and you want to click on go, and you will see invoice list, how many invoices for this period. 15 invoices are there in total for this period, right? But if you want to see more of the details on InSights, yes, of course, you want to go in there and check. Again, there's also calendar with all the timer where you might want to docket the time and do it. That is over here. It's not part of analytics, but since I'm here, I'm just showcasing to all of you. Other than that, you also have the reports in here, referral clients. The same 275 is not, categorized over here. So for all of you to please make sure to use that. Under matter, again, you will have your own sort of matters, which you can again search for and open it. And you have total number of 456 matters created in this form. If you want to open anything and see, you can also see the analytics part over here, which is having a question mark. For this particular matter, what are the analytics? How much was paid into trust? How much was the invoice raised? How much is the balance remaining? What is to be owed? Matter invoiced? Yes, the status is yes. You can go over all of these information in one go on your mobile app. So that's one of my requests for all of you. If you're not currently using mobile app, please feel free to use your mobile app, and that would help you to understand more in depth of these informations. And specifically under accounts and calendar and matter, you have question mark tabs that will allow you to choose category and work on all these reports. We are here at end of the webinar. We are probably done over here. I'd love to open the floor for any questions, any specific requests from any of you. I have 5 more minutes before I wrap up. Would love to see if any of you have any questions, and we could probably wrap up with the question answer session. And I'm hoping you all would be able to generate more of these reports at your end. Viewer number 10 has a question. How do I generate a 9A form when I'm inputting date that already occurred, transition to uLaw? Okay, viewer number 10, please to provide us your details to Amulya support on her chat separately. But to see, this is not part of today's question, but to see what it is, just go to uLaw, go to accounts. Once you have, there are 2 ways you can download a report form 9A for a period that you're looking for. Simplest, go to compliance, go to monthly compliance, click on form 9A. Let's say this is for a specific date range, which is sometime in the past month, the 1st of May to, maybe 31st of May or 31st of July. You can download all your form 9As and take a look at it. Unfortunately, I'm getting an error because probably I clicked on wrong dates. Let's just say you go into Form 9A and click on a date range and provide a date range for beginning of this month, for 3rd of July. If I had only any trust transfer for that month, it will bring up the report. If I didn't have, it will not. So luckily I had a report the previous time. Maybe I didn't have a report, that's why it gave me an error. But yes, you can go to Form 9A under compliances and do that. Or you could just find out the transaction in here and click on the transaction trust transfer and download a Form 9A from here as well. So there are 2 ways you can do that. Year number 10, if you have provided the details to Amulya, we can share you a video later. If there's any other question, I'll be happy to take. I hope I've explained the question to you. Is there anything that you all would like to know? Have I missed any question? Please feel free to put it again on the chat window. We'll be happy to assist you here. By the way, next week we don't have a webinar. It's a long weekend, so we don't have webinars on the Friday of the long weekend. So the weekend, or the week after that, long weekend, we have, I think it's a CPD if I'm not wrong. So I request all of you to use the info.uLawPractice.com/webinar to register for webinar information. August 11th is a CPD on law office matter management. So feel free to join in with us. I've entered the webinar link here for all of you to register and benefit from it. Thank you so much. Now, if there's no question, I'd like to stop the recording right here, so at least we could keep it short, but I'll keep the call on for another couple of minutes. Any questions, I'll be happy to take it. Thank you so much.